Have you ever felt that sudden ringing in your ears out of nowhere and wondered what it meant? Perhaps you thought it was something physical or just a temporary annoyance. But what if I told you that this sound could be much more than it seems? That it might be a spiritual sign, a message from the universe trying to draw your attention to something important in your life. Today, you'll uncover the hidden meanings behind ear ringing and how it might be a warning, a protective message, or even a sign of spiritual awakening. I'll explain what each type of ringing means, how to interpret these signals, and most importantly, how to use them to transform your life. Stay until the end, because you'll learn how to recognize these moments and decode the messages that may come from angels, spiritual guides, or even your own inner energy. If you've experienced this and want to know what it means, this video is for you. What is spiritual ear ringing? At first glance, it might seem like something trivial, such as a hearing problem or a fleeting reaction. However, for those who seek to understand more about energy and spirituality, this sound can be a powerful key. It's as if the universe is whispering something important to you, and the secret lies in knowing how to listen. For example, imagine you're in a moment of doubt or transition in your life, and suddenly that ringing appears. It's like a wake-up call, a signal to stop and reflect on what's around you. This phenomenon can be much more than it seems. Many cultures and spiritual traditions believe that ringing in the ears is a form of connection with higher realms. It might be your subconscious attempting to translate energies you can't directly perceive. Think about moments like deep meditations or pure contemplation. Often, it's during these times that the ringing occurs. This shows that perhaps you're more connected than you realize. Additionally, the ringing can reflect changes happening within you, especially in the energetic field. Have you ever heard the saying that when you change internally, the world around you changes too? So, when you hear that sound again, instead of ignoring it, ask yourself, what could this mean for me right now? This simple shift in perspective can open doors to understanding something much greater. Ear ringing is not a unique experience. It can manifest in various forms, each carrying its meaning. Some people hear a high-pitched tone, like a thin whistle, while others perceive a low, pulsating hum, almost like the echo of a drumbeat. For instance, higher-pitched ringing is often associated with divine messages or an impending spiritual awakening, as if the universe is sending a subtle reminder. On the other hand, deeper sounds might signal dense energies nearby, asking for attention and emotional cleansing. The different types of ringing can also vary in intensity and frequency. Sometimes, it comes quickly and disappears, like a flash of intuition. Other times, it lingers for minutes, as if urging you to slow down and focus. A practical example, if you're in an emotionally charged environment and hear a low-pitched ringing, it could be your energy field indicating that something there needs adjustment. Conversely, a sudden ringing while meditating might suggest you're tuning into higher dimensions. Moreover, the meaning of the ringing can vary depending on which ear you hear it in. Many spiritual traditions claim that the right ear is connected to receiving messages from spiritual guides, while the left ear might signal internal issues that need to be addressed. For example, hearing it in your right ear could be an invitation to move forward with a project or decision, while the left ear might remind you to care for your emotional well-being. Identifying these patterns is like deciphering a unique language from the universe. Ringing in the ears is often interpreted as a clear sign that something deeper is happening. In many cases, it can be the first indication of a spiritual awakening. When you start hearing this sound, it might be the universe calling you to a new phase of your journey. It's not just a sound. It's like an energetic alert indicating that you're ready for an expansion of consciousness. This ringing often appears during moments when you're more open to new learnings or life changes. For example, if you've been seeking inner growth and begin noticing this ringing, it could mean you're vibrating at a higher frequency. It's as if your spiritual senses are fine-tuning to perceive universal truths. Perhaps you've noticed you're becoming more intuitive, more sensitive to the energies around you, and the ringing serves as a reminder that you're connecting with something greater. It signals that your perception is expanding beyond the physical towards greater spiritual understanding. Sometimes, this ringing can also be a sign that you need to pause and reflect. It might be an invitation to take a break, introspect, and listen to your inner voice more clearly. Spiritual awakening doesn't happen overnight, but the ringing acts as a starting point. It marks the moment when you begin to realize that your existence goes beyond the material, aligning with something deeper and more transformative. Recognizing this is the first step in navigating your self-discovery journey with greater confidence. When we talk about Kundalini and chakras, we delve into a profound area of spirituality where energy and consciousness meet. Kundalini is described as latent energy represented by a coiled serpent at the base of the spine. It lies there, dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. When this happens, it rises through the chakras, the body's energy centers. This ascension can generate intense sensations, like ringing in the ears, signaling that your energy is awakening. If you've heard about chakras, you know they're energy centers located along the body, from the base of the spine to the top of the head. Each chakra relates to different aspects of our lives, from survival to our connection with the divine. When Kundalini awakens, it traverses these chakras, clearing blockages and aligning energy. This process can cause physical, emotional, and spiritual changes, such as a sense of expansion or even restlessness as you begin to process new energy frequencies. Now, imagine the Kundalini starts to rise and the ear ringing emerges. This can be interpreted as the manifestation of this intense energy, activating direct communication with spiritual forces. When this happens, you might feel a stronger connection with your higher self and the universe. Energy blockages in the chakras can manifest in various ways, such as feelings of stagnation or difficulty moving forward. The ringing, in this case, could be a warning to work on these blockages and allow Kundalini energy to flow naturally. Many people report a peculiar sense of guidance or presence, as if something beyond the visible is trying to communicate. When you hear ringing in your ears, it's possible that it's a way for angels or spiritual guides to convey an important message to you. These beings, connected to our souls, often use subtle signs like ringing to grab our attention, signaling that there's more to be revealed on your spiritual journey. Increasingly, people report a sense of being guided by unseen forces. It's important to note that these guides aren't merely making casual contact. They're weaving a thread of wisdom throughout your life, pointing to moments of growth and opportunities for learning. The ringing, in this case, could be a sign that a new phase is about to begin or that you're attuned to a higher spiritual flow. To hear these messages clearly, cultivating mindfulness is essential, being open and present to perceive the signs and interpret these moments. It's not an instant process, but a journey of patience and practice. You can begin paying more attention to these signals and try to understand what your guides are trying to show you. If the ringing is very strong or persistent, it might mean it's time for deep reflection on a specific aspect of your life. Note your experiences and feelings when the ringing occurs. A good practice is to meditate or even converse with your inner self, creating space for these messages to reveal themselves more clearly. As you can see, everything is connected, and ear ringing can be a key that opens doors to deeper understanding in many situations. Ear ringing can also be a form of spiritual protection. When negative energies approach, or when you're about to encounter something not aligned with your positive vibration, your body may react with physical signals like ringing. This alert isn't mere discomfort, but a way for your higher self or spiritual guides to warn you to keep your energy protected. They want you to be aware that something around you, whether it's a person, situation, or even environment, might be off, but how can you distinguish whether the ringing is related to a threat or a form of protection? The key lies in your perception. If the ringing is high-pitched and persistent, accompanied by a sense of discomfort or restlessness, it could be a sign of something negative trying to influence your energy. Now, imagine being in a place where you feel a heaviness in the air or talking to someone and experiencing an inexplicable unease. If, at that moment, the ringing intensifies, it's a clear signal that something is off balance, and you should either distance yourself or protect your energy. In moments like these, spiritual protection can be achieved through simple practices, such as using crystals like black tourmaline, known for repelling negative energies, or even visualizing white light, where you imagine a protective shield surrounding your body. By keeping your mind focused on protection and self-care, the ringing in your ears can shift from being a warning to becoming a powerful tool, guiding you to stay balanced and aligned with what truly benefits your spiritual path. By acknowledging these signs, you start to grasp the importance of safeguarding your own energy at all times. Introspection and self-awareness are fundamental when it comes to understanding spiritual signals, such as ringing in the ears. Often, we're so caught up in daily activities that we fail to listen to our inner voice. However, these spiritual signs, like the ringing, don't appear by chance. They are connected to our soul and our journey. By dedicating time to connect with your inner self, you begin to perceive the messages that the universe and your spiritual guides are trying to convey with greater clarity. The more you invest in self-awareness, the easier it becomes to discern whether the ringing is merely a reflection of your environment or a genuine spiritual alert. Regular introspection can be practiced through meditation, journaling, or even taking a quiet walk outdoors. The goal is to allow your mind to quiet down, shutting out external noise so you can truly hear your essence. In doing so, the ringing in your ears transforms from a mere sound into a powerful tool for spiritual connection. For example, during meditation, if you hear the ringing, you can ask your inner self what it seeks to communicate. Often, the response will come as an insight, a feeling, or even a mental image. Over time, you learn to differentiate whether the ringing is environmental or a profound spiritual message. However, the process of self-awareness is not limited to isolated moments of reflection. It involves an ongoing commitment to your personal and spiritual growth. As you come to know yourself better, your perceptions sharpen, and the ringing in your ears, for instance, begins to make complete sense within the context of your life and the energies around you. What may once have been seen as uncomfortable can now be understood as the language of the soul, decipherable only when you are in harmony with yourself. And it is precisely this harmony that will open doors to a deeper understanding of the signs the universe is sending you. Interpreting spiritual signals, like ringing in the ears, doesn't happen overnight. For many, it can seem confusing or even unsettling, but the truth is that these signals are a language of the universe, an invitation to look beyond the surface of everyday reality. The key to interpreting these signs is paying attention to when they occur and your emotional or mental state at that moment. For instance, if you hear sudden ringing during moments of indecision, it may be a sign that you need to reflect more deeply on your choices or seek clarity about an important decision. Each situation will have a different context, and this is where your power of discernment comes into play. The first tip for effectively interpreting these signals is to pay attention to the intensity and frequency of the ringing. When the ringing occurs consistently or at specific times, such as during meditation or reflection, it may indicate a stronger message. A practical tip is to record each ringing experience in a journal, along with your emotions and thoughts at the time. Doing this over a period of time will help you notice patterns and connections, allowing you to interpret the signals more accurately. The habit of keeping such a journal will gradually help you better understand the messages and discern what is truly being communicated to you. Furthermore, when interpreting spiritual signals, Remember that they are often not literal. The ringing can be a metaphor, a warning, or a confirmation of something greater. For example, if the ringing occurs when you're feeling lost or confused, it might be a sign that you're on the right path and about to achieve a significant realization. For those just beginning to notice these signs, a practical way to connect is simply by asking yourself, what am I learning right now? How can this help me on my spiritual journey? This practice of questioning fosters an openness to understanding and interpreting what the universe is trying to communicate. Understanding spiritual ringing in the ears isn't just about recognizing a physical sensation, but about learning to listen to the deeper language of the universe. Every sign you perceive, every ringing that touches your ears, is an opportunity to awaken to something greater within yourself. And most importantly, these signs do not come by chance. They are a call to self-awareness, to connect with your essence, and to understand that you are being guided on a path that can profoundly transform your life. Don't ignore these messages. They are your direct connection to the spiritual realm. Now that you have the tools to recognize and interpret these spiritual signs, the next step is to put this knowledge into practice. Start paying closer attention to the moments when ringing occurs and allow yourself to ask questions inwardly. What are these signals trying to tell you? How can you deepen your connection to your own spirituality? Remember, true transformation comes from consistent practice and the ability to listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. The more you open yourself to this, the more clarity and understanding you will find on your spiritual journey. Now it's your turn. Apply what you've learned, observe the signs around you, and allow yourself to explore what lies beyond what the eyes can see. And if you felt that this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to continue this journey of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. Let's explore this incredible universe together and uncover how spiritual messages can transform our lives for the better.